Yeah. So those are some differences in my business. I have been able to create something to serve others that I love, not just because it will make money. I've just really been investigating what is my gift? What is the purpose or whatever it is? And just through reflection and introspection, I've realized I've always kind of been doing this thing, but I never had put a label on it. And now I've been able to create something that I can tangibly offer others that will help them as well, that I actually love too.
Hey everyone, it's Tamara Thompson with Broadcast Your Authority, and I'm super excited for our next guest, Amanda Dake. She's a business consultant, and I actually had the pleasure of meeting her in person probably about 6 years ago at one of our Broadcast Your Authority events. You actually took the time to fly out and meet me in person. So I'm so excited to have you here in person today as well. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, that was in San Diego, I think.
Yes,
so I don't even know how long ago that was, but it was
6 years ago.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, no, you've come so far in your journey as well. And I've been able to watch you grow and succeed and glow. And we actually had a conversation off this podcast probably a few weeks back, and I really connected with it because you were talking about how you really have started to step into more of your spiritual side and a certain path. And I was like, you know what, I've had the same journey, and a lot of people that I've connected with recently as well. And the word that came up was alignment. You wanted to feel like you were in alignment with the individuals that you worked with and provided service for and consulting. And the thing I love about you is the fact that you're just always so kind and compassionate. You're always there to help serve others. You put them first. And so I think that's something really powerful that you have.
Thank you very much. Yeah, alignment is really important to me, as is integrity. And so I think they go hand in hand, really.
100%.
So not only for myself, but for my children, I want to show them by example. But then, of course, the people I work with, that's the thing I want to help them achieve too. I want them to have alignment with the life that they want to live and the service they want to provide and the way that they want to provide that. And I think a lot of the people I work with, they hit a point in their career where it's like they love what they do, but it's just not serving them anymore. They've got to get out of that day-to-day, one-on-one. They want to get out of that office once in a while and maybe travel or maybe do nothing. That was one thing. Just because you want to get out of that one office for a little bit doesn't mean you have to go do something else. Maybe you just don't want to go in there that day. But a lot of the people that I work with don't have a way to continue to still help people and make money whenever they step out of that. So that's what I love to be able to help them figure out the best way to do that. And a lot of times that's through digital courses. Sometimes it's coaching programs. Sometimes it's live events. And other times maybe it's just changing some systems within their business right now so they can step out and not really hurt anything. So and it helps align them with where they are in their lives now and helps them to be more fulfilled.
Who is your demographic of work with? You said you serve business owners.
Mm-hmm.
Are they at a certain stage in their business?
They're usually at least about at the $500,000 mark. So it doesn't need to be a 7-figure business, but they need to have achieved some success. So I typically don't work with beginners. I used to do that, and it was just kind of against my design, I guess you could say, because I've learned through the years that I would much rather be the lighthouse than the tugboat. Being the tugboat was very draining for me. And because I just wanted people to have success and I wanted it more than they did. And I realized that was just really taking all of my energy. So that's when I decided I would be the beacon and stand my ground and hold my position and light the way for other people. So yes, professionals, they've been in business for probably several years at this point, making a decent income, but ready for a shift, but not necessarily a completely new business.
Do you feel like they're maybe stuck in some way? Not necessarily just stuck in their business, but like you said, stuck in their path?
Yeah, stuck in their path. They've just been doing things the same way over and over again. They've become very comfortable. Their income is fine, but yeah, they're just wanting something different and they just don't know what that is.
Yeah. Well, you two had a conversation about like human design recently, right?
Yeah, I think it's a great tool to be able to access and understand yourself energetically, so you know how you're designed, what your strategies are, how to follow your own authority to make choices for yourself in your life. So
Yeah.
yeah, I love that you have that as an AI product where people can access that if they are not familiar with it, and it's getting to be more mainstream.
Yeah, I think I don't talk about it a lot because it is not widely accepted to talk about such spiritual, deep things in a business world.
Depends on who you hang out with.
It is so true.
Depends on what kind of business.
Yeah.
Interesting comment. Yeah, right.
Yeah. I usually attract very tactical people because I am a very tactical, practical person. So, but
do you think that's because you're maybe not necessarily have been connected to some of the right people, or this is a space that you've been connected to? I know you attended, example, funnel hacking live for years, right? So we had a private conversation where you were like, this was the first year that I didn't attend, right? Because you saw the lineup and it kind of changed and it gave a different perspective, and you didn't feel connected to a lot of the speaker lineup this year than you had in the past.
Yes.
So,
yeah, that's a good point. I did go to all the funnel hacking lives. I was a very big part of that community, and that was what the service I provided to those types of people was, a very tactical, practical service. And now, just probably through my own growth and spiritual journey, so to speak, and business journey as well, I've been able to recognize that I have more to offer people to help them grow, not necessarily just in that tactical, practical way. And that's where me studying my own human design and other things like disc profile and strength finders too. I'm not just going over to the spiritual side alone.
What's your disc?
I'm a high I, high S.
Okay. I'm a high I, high D.
So I'm relational and, but still want to get things done. But I have the AI now to help me interpret that. So, because, when you take those tests, it gives you like a whole binder full of information. And you're just like, oh, okay, I have these letters, ENTJ or whatever they are. I'm just making that one up. I have no idea.
Actually, it is one, actually, because I'm an ENTJ. Yeah.
But, you may know what the letters are. But then if somebody goes, what does that exactly mean? You're like, oh, well. So I created this AI tool to help other people be able to dig into those heavy reports from taking those kind of personality type quizzes to help them evaluate and be able to ask questions about what does this really mean for me. And for myself, it became a tool for analyzing how I wanted to move forward in business and what really met, like what type of business or product offerings or type of customer or avatar that I wanted to serve really aligns with who I am. And it's just been an amazing tool. So I created a custom GPT for other people to be able to have access to that information. And I just created it because I was randomly asked to be on a summit for AI. And I don't technically use AI.
Me too. Were we on the same one?
We might be.
We might have been.
I don't really use I use this tool in this way and here's my checklist to do it. Like I don't use it that way. I just kind of get on there and start, asking it questions or whatever. But I wanted to create a very practical, tactical way for people to use it that aren't familiar with any of the things, whether they're familiar with Chat GPT, whether they're familiar with human design or even disc profiles or anything like that. And then I created prompts for these people to ask Chat to guide them through digging out what that information really means. So
is this a standalone product that you sell, or is this
it's free
for your? Oh, hello!
Wow, interesting.
Bury the lead there, Amanda. Everybody's like, ooh.
I'm interested in a comment that you made. You said you're very tactical and very logical, but your word of the year is alignment. That makes no sense to me then. Because you're like, there's no spiritual, there's no, it's not in the business world. How is your word of the year alignment then? What does alignment mean to you?
Yeah.
Alignment, I think alignment means for me, more of the integrity side, like we were talking about just a few minutes ago. Doing what feels right for me. So it's been a journey for me over the past year and a half to break out of the tactical and get more into the emotional and aspirational piece of especially copywriting and messaging, which I'm not a copywriter, but I still need to be able to speak to the people that I want to help in less of a techno babble way and more of a like, imagine that you didn't have to do this anymore way. Mm-hmm. And that's been really hard for me to do, but it feels better overall to be able to help someone achieve that aspiration rather than like, here, let me just set up your email automation. Like that does not sound very like
inspiring.
Yeah, no, it's not
fulfilling.
No.
Right.
But
I think that's important. I just wanted to kind of piggyback on that because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, it's interesting because energetically, when you're saying like, I'm just a, always like, whenever there's the just, it's like, interesting. Like my little spidey senses, as I say, go off. And it's like the other part of this, as you said, you kind of have this spiritual journey too. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes when we're not familiar, right, with what that is over there, right? We want to kind of just distance ourselves enough to kind of maybe step into the water. For some people, it's like dive all in. But do you feel like maybe part of the word alignment might also be like finding a way for you to bring that in so you do have more fulfillment in the way that you're doing your own work, but also as you're helping other people do theirs as well?
Yes, absolutely. And being okay with pivoting, which we spoke about, and making small changes in the way that I do things that do bring more fulfillment. There's a lot of things that probably every single one of us could be doing that would make money. Yeah. But do we feel like we're giving our best contribution to the world through those things? And do I feel like I'm really serving others by doing those things? And as I have matured and my children have grown, my focus is changing. Whether it's not necessarily on my kids all the time now, it's more about how can I contribute more to the world. And from going from being that tactical email automation funnel builder person to now, like, I want to go deeper with people. I need to be able to go deeper with myself first. So maybe that's where the alignment piece comes in, which I also still think that's a lot of integrity too, because I can't lead you down that path if I haven't done it yet. That's just, I know there's people that can do that, but I'm not one of them.
Yeah. So maybe integrity is one of your signals to alignment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's something that people forget is like our purpose, our alignment. It's going to be there. It speaks all the time to us. And oftentimes it's like in those repeating words or in those ways that we are feeling, right? Because what I'm also hearing is like when you're in the practical, tactical, it's very, it's not very kinesthetic. But every time you mention alignment, you go straight to your stomach. You keep pointing to your stomach, right?
Really?
That's a very visceral, kinesthetic expression, which is like, I think you're calling yourself into that from thinking like the idea of like holistically bringing this together. And I think when you're in a really heavily weighted, either way, I will say, whether it's completely woo or completely, masculine and heavy, I think that this sounds like there's this way of your whole self wanting to come to play to the party.
Yeah.
And some of those pivoting things you were talking about and we talked about, it's like it's bringing you back to that alignment, right? That's the piece, that's the avenue to bring you back to alignment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's also the other pieces that want to bring me back to the tactical. Like just do the things.
What are some things that you've done? Because I'm sure there's so many other people who are like, no, I'm tactical, I'm logical, I'm strategic. And I'm sure, and I know this is important to you, what are some things that you've done that have actually helped you really stay in that focus of alignment and to work into that? What are some practices and even struggles you've had?
I've slowed down a lot. I'm a very busy body. And I also have, through the slowing down, I've been able to identify some, I don't know if I want to say limiting beliefs, but repeating patterns and thoughts that come up a lot. And some of mine are, and I was taught that I had to work hard to make money. like period. So I started work when I was 14 years old, and by choice. No, my parents weren't saying, go get a job. Like, I just wanted to take the burden from them as 2 teachers raising 3 kids. And so I went and got a job at 14, but guess what? You don't get a lot of hours, I guess, whenever you're 14 years old. So I got another job because I wanted to make more money. And then followed that through to college. I waited tables. Well, what do you do whenever you're waiting tables and you want to make more money? You pick up a shift.
Yeah.
So I work more to make more money. I guess depends on the restaurant. Depends on the restaurant or the establishment, I suppose. But mine was just a Mexican restaurant, so in a college town. So I picked up more shifts to make more money. So that carried through, even teaching school for 12 years. What do you do if you want to make more money teaching school? Well, you stay for after school duty, or you become a coach for a sport. Like, so what do you want? What am I doing? I am working more to make more. And so that's been my big journey of slowing down and like feeling into a lot of those patterns and like conditioning that I've had. And it's very difficult to break it. But I'm getting there. And so whenever, I think that answered your question,
it
right?
Did, yeah.
So helping other people break out of that as well, especially one-to-one service providers, that's how they make more money, is having to take on more clients or work more hours. And I like to help them.
Delegate.
Yes, I like to help them either create a model to maybe an ancillary offering that they can create once to still make some money, still impact people, but not have to work more. Or yes, look at their systems that they currently have in place and see where they could take some of that off of their plate and free up some of their time. So, but to be in integrity and alignment, I need to make sure that I'm doing the same for myself and not just taking on more clients because I want to make more money. I need to, I want to do the same thing for me.
Does that also mean that the way that you're actually approaching who you're working with, has that changed too, so that you can have that flexibility for yourself?
It definitely has changed. Yeah. So before, like, I was working with almost anyone that needed my help. I would just try to make room for them. And now I'm a little more discerning because I feel like the type of person needs to be more like me and ready for growth and ready for some kind of changes in their lives that, and not afraid to pay for them, Yeah, it's changed.
Have you noticed changes in your own life after working through feeling like you have to work harder to get more money? Those are ingrained beliefs that we have, and we program ourselves to live our life in those limiting beliefs. So as you're working through this and as you're stepping into that alignment, more of like feeling into your body, really honoring what you're feeling, have you noticed changes in your own life or in your success or anything like that?
I've noticed changes in my life, but not like, I guess it would be an indirect change because I have now installed more meditative practices in my day, not just in the morning. And my way of meditating is my own way. I don't, get in the comfortable chair in the other room and do all the things. Mine might be having something playing while I'm waking up in the morning, and still just kind of, instead of picking up the phone and scrolling social media, I will push play on a favorite podcast or recording, like a Joe Dispenza or something, recording, and get my mindset ready for the day. And then I'm learning to recognize when those things start coming back up, because they do a lot. That is time to maybe repeat a few things that I've learned through some of my studies to get back out of this primal fear brain and get into just this peaceful space where I can create with freedom instead of with scarcity or fear. But at home, I think it's been an energy shift in my house, just with lower stress from me around my family. So those are some differences in my business. I have been able to create something to serve others that I love, not just because it will make money.
I love
but
that.
Because it is something that I've just really been investigating. What is my gift? What is like the purpose or whatever it is? And I just through reflection and introspection, I've realized I've always kind of been doing this thing, but I never had put a label on it.
Yeah.
And now I've been able to create something that I can tangibly offer others that will help them as well, that I actually love too.
Yeah. I want to celebrate that those are not logical and tactical things.
Yeah.
Like everything you just explained to us is totally like really leaning in, trusting your gut, like having this, extended level of consciousness. So I'm just celebrating
Thank
that
you.
because
Yeah.
I think blending the two are so beautiful and you're so good at the tactical. And adding this new layer is just going to give your clients so much amazing results.
Yep. I wish there was a checklist that I could share. Like I did
That's
this,
tactical.
this, and this. But there's not. But that's why I created that AI tool, because it was as close as I could get to some sort of instruction manual on how you can start this journey for yourself if you were interested in it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of tactical because there are directions that I've put in there. But
that's
then
the beauty of it. You kind of blended the two together.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately that's the beauty. If you really are doing it from a holistic place, you are bringing all of you to the task. And I think that's when we really light ourselves up. So
yeah, thank you. Yeah,
it's a beautiful balance you created.
Yeah. And that balance is important for you.
It's very important for
unique.
me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Proud to know you just as a person in general. And you have so many things going on along with your AI tools and things like that. Could you share with our audience a little bit more how they can connect with you, work with you, and anything else that you have going on right now?
Yeah, sure. I am Amanda Dake everywhere. So on
Everywhere?
all the socials, you can find me at Amanda Dake at amandadake.com. It's pretty simple to find. And then the AI tool is free if you want to try it out. It's amandadake.com/AI. It's been a fun little project that isn't the funnel checklist or, whatever else kind of lead magnet it could be, but it is something that I feel like can really help people and serve them more than, the checklist.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we appreciate you for joining us today on this panel. Thank you, ladies, for joining us for another episode of Broadcast Your Authority. And those watching, if you resonated with this episode, be sure to connect with us, subscribe to our channels, leave us a comment, and then also be sure to follow Amanda Dake and see what she's doing in the world today. Appreciate you all, and we'll see you in the next episode.